Hello everyone, I'm FMZ and this is episode 51 of An Englishman Abroad, a Journeyman Story. Today we have a 6-game roundup for you, including the conclusion of the Champions League Group E. Will we qualify for the knockout stages? Let's find out. Run the intro. And we start with our penultimate game in the Champions League. It was a trip to Moscow that ended 1 apiece. Let's take a look at the goals from the game. So Sergio Ramos opened the scoring for us from a free kick on his own at the back post for 1-0. Almero equalised for Spartak Moscow with 7 minutes to play. Good ball into the box and he was on his own in the middle. The defence were very much asleep for that one as we drew in the Russian capital. Moving on to the next round of the Copa del Rey, it was a 2-0 win over Numancia. Let's take a look at the goals from the game. Now, we had already missed a penalty by the time Isco put us in front on 34 minutes. Kamara with the header back across goal for Isco to head into the net for 1-0. And we wrapped it up 10 minutes into the second half. Bernardo Silva with the ball out wide to Douglas Costa, who played it into the middle for Romelu Lukaku to nod in for 2-0. And we'll take a look who we're going to play in the next round in a second. So our reward for beating Numancia is a match against Atletico Madrid. It is the Madrid derby in the quarterfinals of the Copa del Rey, and you'll see the result from that in this roundup. That's coming up in just a short while. Moving right along to the last group game in the Champions League, and we'll see how that affected the end of the group stage in a second, but let's take a look firstly at the goals from this match. So Francisco Andrelli, who did the damage in the reverse fixture for Liverpool, opened the scoring. Trent Alexander-Arnold with the ball across the box. There was a hint of offside, but VAR ruled it out and the goal was given. Liverpool went 2-0 up in the 42nd minute. Robertson with the cross into the middle for Asensio to hit the deflected shot into the net. We did pull one back just before half-time. Romelu Lukaku with the goal back. Dele Alli with the ball into Bale, who played it nicely through to Lukaku, who fired it into the net. But alas, we could not find another goal in the second half as we lost for the second time against Liverpool. However, it did not affect our qualification for the knockout stages of the Champions League. We qualified with 10 points in the end. The draw with Spartak Moscow was enough to see us past Milan because Liverpool beat them. So we finished 3 points clear of them in the end. It was the 2 results against Milan that saw us through. And we'll take a look at the Champions League first round knockout draw at the end of the roundup. Jumping back in, it was a win over Seville, and a comfortable one at that, by 5-0. Let's take a look at the goals from the game. So Lukaku opened the scoring on 20 minutes. Bale with the ball back to Miranda, who then sent it back to Bale for him to put it into the box for Lukaku to head in for 1-0. Then Bernardo Silva kind of took over the game from here. He started the run down the right-hand side for the second goal. Played it into Romelu Lukaku, who sent it back across the box for Silva to tap in for 2-0. He then scored from the penalty spot to make it 3. Lovely finish into the corner for 3-0. Fourth goal just after the half hour. Silva involved again. Dele Alli with the cross into Lukaku, who played it towards Gareth Bale, who sent it into the bottom corner nicely for 4-0. And Bernardo Silva completed the scoring in the 78th minute. Rakitic with the ball onto Rodrigo, who had a nice little mazy run, played it back to Rakitic, sent it out wide to Hakemin, who sent it towards the far post looking for Rodrigo. There is Bernardo Silva on the spot to complete his hat-trick and a 5-0 win over Sevilla. So here is that Copa del Rey quarter-final against Atletico Madrid, and we came out on top after extra time, it has to be said. Let's take a look at the goals from the game. Bernardo Silva put us in front on 12 minutes. Nice little counter-attack coming. Lukaku with the ball in behind. and a nice tidy finish from Bernardo Silva, who is on fire at the moment. We had to wait till the 88th minute for the equaliser, however, and it was an own goal from the unfortunate Sergio Ramos, and it just deflects off him and goes into the net. So extra time was needed to see the winner, and we won the game in extra time. Silva with the initial run before the pass to Rodrigo, who fired into the corner for 2-1, and then Casemiro wrapped up the win in the last minute of extra time with a nice volley into the bottom corner as we beat Atletico Madrid to progress to the semi-finals of the Copa del Rey, and we'll see who we're going to play shortly. And the last game for today's roundup is a 4-1 win over Real Betis. Let's take a look at the goals from the game. Bernardo Silva with another 2 this afternoon. This is his first goal. Bit of a defensive lapse. Costa with the ball in behind. There is Bernardo Silva to roll it into the net for 1-0. An own goal sandwiched in between. Bernardo Silva heavily involved again, this time off the back of the goalie for 2-0. And then it was 3 just before half time. Toni Kroos with the ball on the edge of the box with the initial shot. Bernardo Silva quickest to react for 3-0. They pulled one back, did Real Betis. A former player of mine, Christian Tello, with the goal. Here he is, centre of the penalty area, slamming it into the net. Lovely goal from him. But it only angered us and made us grab a 4th in the 75th minute. Toni Kroos with the cross into the box. Douglas Costa with the header, nicely into the corner for Real Madrid 4, Real Betis 1. So the draw was made for the first knockout round of the Champions League. It's Manchester City for us with the first leg at home. Wasn't ideal, but when you finish second in the Champions League group stage, that's what you get. You tend to get one of the big fish, and Manchester City certainly are that. Although we should not be discounted. Certainly from the game, it will be a massive tie for both sides. And here is the rest of that draw. Games to pick out: Manchester United versus Bayern Munich, obviously a repeat of the 1999 final. Ajax against Leipzig, that'll be a fairly good tie. Arsenal against Atletico Madrid. Celtic against Barcelona, they've got history as well. And lastly, the Jurgen Klopp derby as Dortmund take on Liverpool, with Jurgen Klopp returning to Germany. Blimey, there was a lot to run through there. So I've got one more thing to bring to you though, is our reward for beating Atletico Madrid, and it's a tie with Tenerife for a place in the Copa del Rey final. The other tie is between Real Sociedad and Barcelona, so I would expect it to be Barcelona versus Real Madrid, but you never know what could happen in the Cup. As I've already mentioned, it's Manchester City for us in the first knockout round of the Champions League. Into La Liga we go, and we are still 4 points clear of Atletico Madrid. Both sides have had a fairly decent run, given there weren't that many league games because of the World Cup. So it's as you were at the top with Valencia in 3rd. Barcelona have, however, leapt up into 4th place. Real Betis have dropped 1 down to 5th place. Down at the bottom, Sevilla de Lid are still bottom on 8 points. Granollers are second from bottom on 10, and Las Palmas complete the bottom 3 on 12. Villarreal still upwardly mobile, but only the 2 points clear of the bottom 3, so they'll be looking to push on in the second half of the season. We have now reached the turn of the year. We are into the home stretch of the La Liga season. Still with a 4-point gap though, which is great news, but we do have Atletico Madrid on the horizon, so there are plenty of big games coming up for us. Obviously the games with Manchester City, they're going to be huge. We have a semi-final in the Copa del Rey, albeit against Tenerife, but whilst we beat them 5-0 in the league earlier in the season, there is no guarantees that we'll get past them, but I suspect we probably will. But we'll find out next time how that one goes. If you enjoyed today's video, please leave a like. If you haven't subscribed to the channel and would like to do so, please click the subscribe button down in the corner. That was episode 51 of An Englishman Abroad, a Journeyman Story. I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.